Hey y'all, I'm Bridget Bartlett here. I am the local business marketing, training, and support specialist for Builderall. A lot of local businesses request their customer contact them for a quote or an estimate. You may also have an order form you want them to complete when contacting you. To do this, you need to have specific information related to your business that includes more than just a name and an email. The best way to receive this information is by adding a contact form to your website. So let's enter the Cheetah Builder app and create one now. And we'll just create a new website. We'll call this Contact. And we will choose a blank template. And let's go ahead and edit the page. So the first thing we want to do is add a panel, like always. We'll choose a blank panel. We'll go ahead and left click in the box and drag the blue bar down. We'll delete this text here just to give us a blank working space. Go ahead and click here. We want to add our element. So we have two options, okay? We can add a contact form, which we're going to do today, or we can add an email marketing form. The difference is an email marketing form, as soon as they fill it out, it will immediately go to an email list, and then it will trigger an email sequence to go out to them. It will be basically generic emails to indoctrinate them to your business. But for a contact form, this is a specific form with specific information, and we want that information to be emailed to us so that we can follow up with the customer, okay? So let's go ahead and choose a contact form. We can customize these any way we wish, so let's just choose the first one. Now, if you left click in the contact form, you see you have some options. So once we completed this, we could save this element and use it on any website that we want to within the Cheetah Builder. We could also edit the element, so we can choose, basically whatever we want it to look like. We can center the element by clicking here to center it on the page. We can set the fields, which we're going to talk more about in just a second. You can set the recaptcha, which is really simple to do. All you need to do is follow the instructions. It walks you step by step. You can also duplicate the element. You can hide the element. So if you only wanted this showing on desktop and not mobile, you could hide this on mobile or vice versa, and then you can delete. So what we're going to do today is set the fields. Now, in this first section here, we just want to enter in the email address that we want this information sent to. So I'm just going to go ahead and enter in my email address. And we want the subject to be something that we will clearly recognize. So we'll say, you have an order. We could also have them directed to another website URL after they have submitted the form. So if you had a thank you page, or you wanted them to book an appointment with you through the booking app, you could put the calendar link here. For this purpose, let's just go ahead and we'll just choose to send them a success message. So we'll say, congrats. We have received your order and will contact you soon. And then we can also create a custom error message. So we could say, oops, it looks like you have forgotten something. And then we'll go ahead and click save. Okay, let's go back into our fields. Oops. So we have all of that filled out. Now we need to select the fields that we need in our form, okay? Now, these are just the standard fields that are already created in this email form. So you see we have the type of field. Each of these are a text field, and a text field is just a field that allows you basically one line of text, okay? The label in the field is what your customer is going to see. So whatever you label it as is what they're going to see. And then the tag tag is what's going to be in the email that gets sent to you. So you always want to make sure that your tag will help you understand whatever information they entered into the form, okay? So the first name tag is going to tell you this is the first name, what they entered, okay? To edit any of these, you simply click the pencil here and you can change that. Or you can move them up and down. So if you wanted to have the last name first for whatever reason, you could do that there. For this purpose, let's go ahead and click the plus sign because we want to add some fields. So we already know what the text field looks like, okay? If you click on the text field, just like we just saw, you could put your name and then your name again. And then if you wanted to automatically add information to that field, you could do that here. For example, if it was a password and you wanted to give them a default password, you could do that and then just hide it. So you would say not required and then make it hidden. But for this purpose, since we're going to use this as an estimate or an order form, we don't really want to put any default value there. We do want to require it. And if you wanted to add some help text, you could do that here. So let's go ahead and we're going to add another field and we will say, let's see. We'll go ahead and choose password. So we'll say, do you want a password? And we will tag this password. But really, this is great for if you're creating a magic funnel, but for a form that we're creating, password would not be relevant, but I definitely want to show you, what it would look like if you wanted to add a default password and then say not required, and then it would be hidden, and then we don't need any help text because they're not going to see it. So if you click save and then save again, you can see that there's no password. So what is going to happen is if they entered their information in here and it was going to a magic funnel to create a Builderall account, then we could set the default password that way. For this purpose, since we're just creating a contact form or an order form for an estimate, we're just going to go ahead and delete that. I just wanted you to understand that that is an option, okay? So let's go ahead and choose a radio box. Now, a radio is basically just the little circle that they choose where they can only have one choice, okay? So let's pretend that we are just creating a form to order a pizza, and we will just call this tag, let's see, toppings. And then we want it to be called toppings because when it sends us this form, we want to know these are the toppings that they actually, let's call this, instead of toppings, let's call this something where they only have one choice. So we'll say crust, and then we will make it required. And then we'll say, please choose the crust you want on your pizza. Oops, can't spell. And we'll choose the plus sign, and then we'll just say pan, and then we'll say hand tossed. Oops, can't spell today. And save. And then the next option we'll just say, what's the other one? Oh, thin. Let's say thin crust. And then we'll go ahead and click save. Now, if we go and look at the live view, that's fine. So if you go and look at the live view, you see they can only choose one of these options, okay? So if you did have a pizza shop and you wanted them to place an order like this, it only allows them to choose one option, okay? So let's go back to our form, set fields. Now let's create another form here for the date, okay? So maybe for our pizza shop, we want them to select a date that they want the pizza on. Maybe it's a future order. Maybe you're running a catering business or, something like that where you would want a future date. So we could go ahead and just choose, we'll just say date, date needed. And we will make this tag date needed. So when it sends us the email, we know that whatever they put here is the date that they need it. We will require it. And then we'll create our help text to be, please enter the date you need your order. And we can click save, save again, and let's check out the live view. So if you see here now, if they select the date box, they can choose a future date. So let's say we'll just choose the 26th, or I guess 25th, and then they choose the date, okay? So now when you receive this email, it'll say date needed, and with that info there. Let's go ahead and add another field. And this one, we're going to choose the text area, okay? So maybe for a pizza shop, we want this text area, which is different than a text only because a text area allows you multiple lines of text, whereas a text field only allows you one line of text, okay? So let's put on here, please include any special information regarding your order. So we'll say, and then we'll just put a tag, special info. We won't add any default value. We don't need to make this required because maybe they don't have any special information, but we do want it to be visible just in case they do want to enter that info, okay? So we won't really add any help text, but we could add an icon here. And we could just say, let's look for any icons that would be relevant to help. Hopefully we have some. And we could just choose this question mark there. We could align it on the left and we'll save. And you see we have our question mark and our help text. Please include any special information. Let's go ahead and go back to the set fields. And let's add another field. So this one is going to be the checkbox. So let's go ahead and add a checkbox for the toppings because with a checkbox, you can choose multiple options, okay? So we'll call this, we'll tag this with help box. Yes, we want it required. And then we won't enter any help text, but we'll go ahead and add the plus sign. So we'll say cheese, because this is for our pizza shop. So we'll say cheese there. And let's go ahead and add pepperoni, if I can spell, and pepperoni. Sorry, I guess my brain is still asleep. I can't spell. Okay. And then let's go ahead and add sausage. Okay, and you guys get the point, right? So with toppings, we're going to go ahead and click save. We'll save again. And then let's go ahead and look at the live view. So far we have the name and email and phone number. They can select one choice of pan, hand tossed, or thin, the date that they need the pizza. They can fill out any information that they have here, any special info, and they can choose any of these three options, okay? They can just choose one, or they can choose all, okay? Let's go ahead and X out of there. And let's go look at our other options for fields. And we'll have the plus sign. And now we have the select, okay? So maybe with a select, that is going to be a drop-down box, okay? So maybe we don't want the radio field, but we want them to select from a drop-down box. So we'll go ahead and choose, let's say, pickup or delivery. And then we will say this is required. And let's go ahead and add pickup and save. And we'll add delivery. And save. We'll go ahead and save that. And let's check out the live view. Save. That's fine. And let's go ahead and look at the live website. So now we have the drop-down box here where they can select pickup or delivery. So this is the select field. That's what that looks like. Let's go ahead and X out of this. Go back to the fields. And we'll add a plus sign here. Now the last option we have is the date and time. So let's say date and time needed. And we'll go ahead and say date and time needed will be our tag. We won't add any default value. We will make it required. Let's go ahead and save again. And let's look at the live view. Now you'll see with the date and time needed, you have the option to choose a date and click OK. And then you also have the option to choose a time. So you would just choose the time there. Okay. Now let's go ahead and fill out this form, and I will email it to myself and then I'll show you what it looks like. So we'll go ahead and fill out the form as if we were ordering a pizza. And we'll just say, oops, that would be the email address. Okay, so we'll just add an email. And that's our phone number. Let's choose pan. Let's say we want it tomorrow. And let's say, please cut in squares. And we want cheese and pepperoni. And we'll say delivery. Obviously, if we wanted delivery, we would definitely want to add the address there. And let's say date and time, even though this would not be relevant since we already chose the date, we can just go ahead and show you what this field looks like. So we'll just choose that time. And then we'll go ahead and click submit. Congrats, we've received your order and we'll contact you soon. So now let me check out my email. Okay, and so we have our email, and you see it's going to come from no reply, which is going to be the Builderall email address. You see we have our subject, you have an order. So if you click in the email, you see all of the tags that we added here, and then all of the relevant information that we entered into these fields, okay? So if you had a pizza shop and you just wanted to get something on there so that you could help to automate this, using a contact form is a super simple way to do that and just get you started. Just start placing orders. Also, you can integrate the super checkout. You can integrate the booking app, and we're going to talk about that later on in the week. But it's important for you to know what you can do with a contact form and get started automating some of this process. We know that time is money, and if you can save time and not have someone answering the phone for your pizza shop, placing orders, and you can just receive an email, that's going to save you time, which saves you dollars. So I hope you found some value from this. And don't forget, if you don't have a Builderall account yet, you can get a free one at builderall.com. Now let's go build it with Builderall.